Hey, hey, live on Instagram, guys. About to do a live with Dr. Bryan Ardis. And we are getting ready to spill some beans, guys. What's going on? Hello, hello, peoples. What's good? What's good? Hello. Guys, I have a treat for you tonight. I have Dr. Bryan Ardis on with me shortly. So I'm waiting for him to jump on here, and we are getting ready to enlighten you guys about some real health secrets that the mainstream would like us to keep quiet. So, waiting for Dr. Ardis to get on here, and we are going to, what's up, Scully? We are going to talk all about, guys, I think we're going to dip into parasites tonight. We're going to talk about turbo cancers. We're going to talk about venoms. We'll be talking about nicotine. We'll be talking about some solutions, okay? And the first time I talked to this man, it was like, he blew my mind. I was like, this can't be real, right? And then after I went down the Dr. Ardis rabbit hole, I was like, oh my God, this stuff is real. There's backed stuff here. This is insane. So, incredible information when I found and went down the rabbit hole. And then when I was down in the rabbit hole, right, I started to look at like other things, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, I started to really believe what he was talking about, right? Because I'm a skeptic. I do not believe right away until I can see proof for myself. I can see some science. I want to see something that proves what is going on. All right. So it takes a while to convince me of things. So the next time I interviewed Dr. Ardis, he was saying some other stuff about, venoms. And I'm like, this is so weird. And, I don't really understand, right? And then, listen to this one, guys. I'm going to drop a little gem. It's not a gem. This is actually disgusting. What they're doing with seeds and what they're doing with venoms is insanity, okay? And the last interview, if you guys haven't checked out the last show that me and Dr. Ardis did together, he proved it to me. Seeds and venoms are becoming a thing. Seeds and venoms, guys. So they're trying to put venoms into seeds. Like, what? Coming on with me shortly here. Let's see, is this working? I just added, let's see if this works. Hey, we're in here. Hey.
Well, hello, Elizabeth Carson. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. Ardis. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. I heard you talking about the venom in seeds. Yes, pretty
Yeah.
insane, isn't it?
It's crazy. And when you were showing me like that graph that you have, so just tell them a little bit about the venom in the seeds real quick so they can
Yeah,
understand.
so for those of you who didn't catch it, I told Elizabeth Carson in the last interview, I was like, it's pretty sadistic where they're using venoms all over the world. So there are three primary categories in which venoms are being produced around the world and then being put in things. Number one is drugs and vaccines. Number two is cosmetics. Number three is crops. So I showed her, I said, I want to show you this article, this research paper titled Venom in Agriculture, Venom Biodiversity in Agriculture. And in that document, they state and show a chart, and it shows the 5 most common sources of venoms that are being used and isolated, then inserted into seeds. And this is called genetic engineering or genetic modification. And then I show in this graph, they show the 5 different animals: spiders, scorpions, bees, wasps, and snakes. Venoms are being infused into seeds to grow our crops. So in the middle of the graph from the research paper are 5 red balls that represent the 5 venomous creatures they're isolating venoms from. And then there's these blue balls all around the red sourced venoms, and that displays the names of all the corporations, universities that own the patents on those venoms in seeds to produce the crops that are in green around the graph. And there are lines that actually connect For example, Louisiana State University owns patents for crops, and they show you which venoms and crops connect those. I show you that potatoes on the graph. There's potatoes that we're eating every day that Frito-Lay owns patents on, and those seeds of those potatoes are designed to and infused with venoms from snakes, spiders, scorpions, wasps, and bees. And they published in that research study all of humanity and society are benefiting from crops infused with venoms. And they describe in the research paper every part of the plant will develop venom inside of it: the root, the stalks, the bark, the leaves, the fruit, the vegetables. And they say this resists pests from eating the plant, so it's a natural pest resistant plant because those venomous creatures kill those insects. So as a locust or grasshopper lands on the crop to now eat the vegetable or the leaf, they'll die from the venom inside versus having to spray with a crop duster, Roundup, weed killer, or others.
Mhm.
And all I said to Elizabeth was, isn't this amazing that all of humanity and society are benefiting from our crops laced with venoms, but yet they've never told you this, that they are doing this?
Mhm.
And they've been doing this for over 30 years. I showed you the dates. All these patents start from
Yeah.
1990 until now. And I show you watermelons, stevia,
Mhm.
corn, potatoes,
Yeah.
uh, lettuce, cucumbers. All of these are now laced with venoms, and they say you're benefiting from it. And all I say is this, Elizabeth, they're studying the venoms going from the seed into every aspect of the plant to make it pest resistant. But
Mhm.
nobody has researched this type of technology to see what happens when we as humans eat the food you're growing that has venom in it. They know the insects die. Well, what happens to you?
Yeah. Yeah. And didn't you say that once a venom gets into your system, then it lowers your immune system for a certain amount of years?
Oh, this is actually very well documented. If you or I, Elizabeth, got stung or bitten by any of those venomous creatures I just named that has their venom in your crops now,
Hmm. Hmm.
if you and I ever got bit by a scorpion or stung by a scorpion, bit by a snake, and we went and got anti-venom at a hospital,
Hmm.
it is published. Any venom introduced into a human will stay circulating into their body even after antivenom therapy for an average of 10 to 14 years because the body doesn't know how to degrade the very dense, hard proteins called venom proteins. It takes 12.7 years on average for your body to eliminate it, and they state it will wreak havoc on every part of the body as long as it's in there, which is why I wrote the book, Moving Beyond COVID-19 Lies, so that you would have published in a document what are all the published antidotes to each of these 36 different venoms found in the blood, urine, and feces of every long COVID patient and vaccine injured for COVID-19. And if you do not get those venoms out and introduce something into the human body to start degrading them, you can suffer with symptoms no matter where the venoms end up. And let me explain this. If any of those scorpion, snake, spider venoms end up in your body after eating the crop or getting COVID, and let's just say it landed in your pancreas from your bloodstream,
Hmm.
you will start developing hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, and the inability to balance blood sugar. You'll be diagnosed as a pre-diabetic. And then eventually, in the next 12 years, while your body's trying to get rid of the venom on its own, you could be diagnosed type 1 diabetic or type 2 diabetic. This is just an example. And yes, you're seeing diabetes skyrocketing exponentially around the world. That's just an example.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if
Yeah,
you don't want to
it's
suffer
getting.
needlessly, this is why I wrote the book, Moving Beyond COVID-19 Lies.
Well, you know what, Dr. Artist, it's just I'm so grateful for you because it's like we didn't all this stuff was unknown and it's like you're over here like, "Hey world, hello, this is what's happening." And now people are starting to wake up and really see what's going on. The truth is being exposed. I mean, I'm so glad that me and you are getting together to do this tour together.
So
These
am I.
events are going to be so important, Dr. Artist, because I know that we're going to be talking about venoms and toxins and environmental exposure, mostly in Miami in December when we do our event. But I know that we're going to be touching on parasites and turbo cancers and things like that shortly, actually, only in a couple weeks in Dallas, May 16th. So, can you break down just a little bit like what we're going to be learning about the craziness of this parasite thing and just all these things that are happening right now that we're going to be talking about in Dallas?
Sure. Yeah. One of the things is right now, everybody around the world just know this: 300 million people right now, it is actually published, still suffer with long hauler COVID symptoms. And that is completely unnecessary. And our government just published they expect all those individuals to suffer with their symptoms for the next 10 years. Okay, well, just so you know, most people who listen to Dr. Ardis, Elizabeth Carson, and us combined, many people around the world just think that nicotine's the cure to all of it. No, nicotine's the cure for most of it. Long hauler COVID is actually caused by 36 different animal venoms, and those 36 different animal venom proteins can get into any part of your entire body and make up any of the 200 now classified medical diagnoses that are now called long COVID, which includes things like schizophrenia right now, and
What?
general affective disorder, depression is now being called long COVID symptoms. Well, I'm going to show you that Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are too. Well, the reason for this prolonged neurological problem for so many people, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, now called long COVID, is because your body doesn't break down these poisons, these venom peptides, once they get into your brain or any other part of the body for up to 10 years. So most people just hear about nicotine. Well, nicotine handles 20 to 25 of these 36 different venoms, but there are a myriad of other natural solutions that address the other things like blood clotting, the neurodegeneration leading to Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, loss of memory, you name it. So we're going to dive into all of those and make sure you know the truth about those and why the exponential rates of diabetes. Did y'all see this? The World Health Organization just published in the last year, they expect diabetes by 2050 in the next 24 years to reach 1.3 billion people in this world.
I'm
And they
sorry.
blame it on COVID. That's 1/8 of the entire world's population will be diabetic. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about and disclose a lot of these antidotes. And there's even new ones now. I recently just learned there's a common medication all children use, many,
Yeah.
many millions of American children use. And in October of 2020, it was found that inside that medicine for children, this common issue that millions of Americans suffer with, they found there's an additive in the medication that was preventing all of them from getting COVID. Well, I'm going to expose that and show you guys what it is. It is something we've talked about but not done a show on. But I'm going to show you. It's pretty impressive. And then also, just so y'all know, a month ago, CNN Health reported that the number one killing cancer of young adults right now is colon cancer. It's the number one killing cancer of young adults in America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got exciting news for all of you. I'm going to show you guys. I'll even give you copies of all those in attendance and those who are virtual. I'm going to give you copies what Dr. Ardis and a parasitologist of 55 years, we just had a published research study that was peer reviewed and approved and put in a cancer journal just a week ago. This is very exciting because it's all about the specific types of parasites being found in 1 in 5 colon cancer patients in America, Elizabeth. And do you know what every medical student and medical doctor in America is told in med school today?
Hmm.
Parasites don't exist in America. Well, I'm going to show you the exact parasite that is found in 1 in 5 colon rectal cancer patients in the United States and what the antidotes are there too. And we're going to give you copies of this peer-reviewed, published research paper that just came out last week, which we're very thrilled about.
Well, so much congratulations and awesomeness for that. That's incredible. Um, so let me
And
get
we'll
this
dive
straight.
into the cures. This one specific parasite, by the way, that we found for 10 years worth of stool samples that we collected with
Uh-huh.
Dr. Omar Ahman's Parasite Centers Incorporated.
Uh-huh.
This one specific parasite, by the way, the CDC on their website right now, Elizabeth Carson says this one parasite is responsible for 90 million Americans having chronic health conditions and medical diagnoses. But your medical doctors are told parasites don't exist in America. But our CDC says 90 million Americans have this specific parasite causing disease. And guess where they say you get it from?
Hmm.
The CDC. They say
Hmm.
you most commonly get this parasite that we, Dr. Omar Ahman and myself, just had our peer-reviewed and published research study with this specific parasite, confirming it's in 1 in 5 intestinal walls of those they call colon cancer. The CDC publishes you get it from your United States supplied tap water.
Yep, I was gonna say tap water. Oh God. So you're telling me right now that 1 out of 5 people that are diagnosed with colon cancer, going through all of the treatments, the chemos, the radiations, all of those things, maybe even surgery, they could really just do like a parasite cleanse.
Yeah, 1 in 5 people could do a parasite cleanse for 2 to 3 months, and you would actually remit what they are calling colon cancer.
God, see,
Isn't that amazing?
I just, I always become like speechless and stutter a little bit because it's just, I can't even fathom the system and how it's been working for so long. So I'm so glad for people like you that are out here actually discovering and putting it out there, real truths, because how many people's families have gotten ripped apart through cancer that could have just really been a parasite. And then I mean, the research that I've done, parasites in different parts of your body cause different autoimmune diseases, like diabetes in some cases. And this is
Totally.
not taught, and parasite cleanses are not popular here. They're actually, when you look it up, they say don't do them.
Well, what are the medical doctors taught here in America? They're taught parasites don't exist in America. In fact, if you
Hmm.
go to the UK, I was just there three weeks ago. Several speakers got up and mentioned that we don't have parasite problems here in the UK. Yes, you do. And then I showed them a lab in London that does stool analysis. The same parasitologist I worked with to do this research study and compile it all and get it peer reviewed and published, he's got
Hmm.
another lab in London to do stool samples for everybody in the UK. And I walked them all through what parasites are most commonly found in individuals in the United Kingdom. This is one of the great fraudulent lies of the medical profession and the pharmaceutical industry. They do not want you knowing that many of the medical conditions, including diabetes, rosacea, lupus, fibromyalgia, are created by parasite infections. If you never teach your medical doctors in school about parasites, you never bring it up with your patients, you never look for them, you never treat them, and your patients will suffer forevermore, never having known that there's a root cause of parasites possibly creating their symptoms. And I'll just say
Hmm.
it here. I don't know why I feel like it, but I'm going to say it here. I said it many times on stages before, but somebody in this audience probably needs to hear it. If you have lupus, or if you have rosacea, which is actually the precursor to lupus, rosacea on your cheeks is
Hmm.
a tall tale sign that your spleen is inflamed, which is on the lower left side by your pancreas. When the spleen gets infected, you get a red rash on your cheeks when it swells with an infection. Over time, if that spleen continues to get more and more inflamed, you will develop what's called a butterfly rash called lupus, systemic lupus erythematosus, cutaneous lupus erythematosus. There's several types of lupus. But everybody with rosacea, you have a parasite infection in your spleen. If it's not 100% of you, it's 95% of all of you. And it would behoove you to do a stool sample test to find out which parasites you have, start detoxing yourself, and watch all of this reverse and clear up. It's pretty amazing within a 2 to 3 week period, or
Wow,
2 to 3 month
man.
period. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? There's like simple things that people could be using to fix these issues, and it's just not widely known because, of course, they don't make a lot of money when you can do the simple things to fix them. So I know that May 16th in Dallas, we will be talking about how to test and kind of find hidden infections because I know that there's so many different things that happen with us. We can't even identify these things, right? I mean, how do we identify? So I know that we're going to be touching on that because I think that is incredibly important to know, symptoms and different things, just like you said with the rosacea. That's a, that's big.
It affects millions. And just so you know, anybody with rosacea, you're going to go to a dermatologist, and they're going to put you on two things: a steroid orally, or a steroid cream topically, or an antibiotic orally, or an antibiotic cream. Now,
Hmm.
I just want to say this: antibiotics only treat bacterial infections.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how are you ever going to clear up rosacea that I'm telling you is caused by a parasite? And if you don't actually address the parasite, which antibiotics do not do, they do not treat parasite infections. It would behoove you, if you have rosacea, if you want to remove the likelihood that you will develop systemic lupus erythematosus in the future, you might want to do a stool sample test and see if you have parasites in your body being eliminated through your stool as they die or as they're going through their different life cycles. It would just behoove you to see, and it takes 1 week to get the results. And once you know the truth, and now you know how to address it. And I'll just tell you right here, uh, yeah, parasites are a big, big deal, much bigger than they want to give you credit for. And I will tell you, when we go to our event, I've already downloaded 4 documents that every veterinarian is told to carry in their veterinarian offices in America. I have
Hmm.
never shown this to my audiences. I've never shown it here with you and Elizabeth, but at these events, I'm going to show you, and I will give you access to those virtual if you're there, and I will also make sure you're handed it, all those people in person.
Hmm.
There are 4 documents every veterinarian is supposed to carry in their office and hand to you when you bring their dog or cat or other animal to that clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And they're titled zoonosis, 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 treatments, and education. And zoonosis means an infection that transfers from animals to humans. And they walk you through what age groups of every human is susceptible to which parasites from your dog and cat. I will show you all of those. And then you can start taking this to your medical doctor and going, hey, I thought you said parasites don't exist in America. Could you possibly, with my autoimmune disease rheumatologist, could you please test me for parasites? I have a dog, I have a cat, and maybe they transfer these to me. And you never talked about this, but I learned this at the Uncensored event with Dr. Ardis and Liz Carson.
Yeah, and you know what? It would be awesome too at our events to give away like the right tests that people can take, because I will tell you, I had a GI map done and they're like, "Oh, you don't have any parasites, you're good." But they don't even test you for the right ones though. So,
Yeah, let's talk about that here. Anybody out there who is actually tested for parasites or were told by their medical doctor they were going to test it? If you're in America, listen to me. I've been in practice for 20 years here in the United States, and every medical doctor in every city that I worked in and had a practice in would tell my patients, don't trust Dr. Ardis. Parasites don't exist in America. And if they ever did do a stool sample miraculously on a patient, there's 3 labs in America that a medical doctor can order a parasite stool sample from, a test done. It's called LabCorp, which most of you have heard of, Genova Labs, and Quest Labs.
mhm.
I need to say something here. This is not a joke. I've had patients walk into my practice with an autoimmune disease. I was able to determine they had a specific type of parasite, sent them away with a parasite cleanse. They bought all the supplements they needed, got their dietary recommendations for the next several months. And then I wouldn't see them again for like 3 months, even though I would set up monthly appointments to do follow-ups. And sometimes those patients would come in 3 months later, 4 months later, 6 months later, and this is what they would say. So please pay attention, everybody. They'd walk in and go, my husband or my wife did not believe me that I had parasites and told me not to trust you. So they took me back to my medical doctor, and the medical doctor said, don't listen to Dr. Ardis. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's order a parasite stool sample test from LabCorp, Quest, or Genova Labs and just see if you have the parasites Dr. Ardis said. And even though they did trust me already, the patient, someone in the family would be like, don't trust them. I haven't met him yet. I would not believe anything he says. And then they would tell me this months after not showing up. They'd go, Dr. Ardis, they ran a stool sample test and I didn't have parasites. And I'd go, that's great. No, but that's why I didn't come back. And I'd go, oh, well, what did they tell you was the cause of your symptoms? They didn't. Do you still have your symptoms? Yes. Okay, great. Can you please show me your report from LabCorp? Listen, everybody, LabCorp, Quest, and Genova Labs. I'd make them pull it up. Remember, nobody gave them any answers. They still were suffering. And I'd go, great, pull them up. This is a lesson for all of you there. If you go to your medical doctor and ask for a stool sample test versus the ones I'm going to teach you at the Uncensored event, Genova Labs, Quest, and LabCorp only test for one of the 4 types of parasites in America. The 4 types are tapeworms, roundworms, protozoa, and flukes. Genova, LabCorp, and Quest only test for one of the 4. And of that one, which is only called protozoa, LabCorp only tests for one of the 100,000 different protozoas. One of the 100,000 in that category. Genova Labs only tests for 3 of the 100,000, and Quest only tests for the same one that LabCorp tests for. So what do you think is the likelihood you're going to come back with a positive parasite finding in your stool sample test? Not very
Wow.
likely. They don't even test for tapeworms, roundworms, which is the #1 cause of MS, for example, roundworms, which you get from every dog and cat you've ever owned that ever has a heartworm. Heartworms in dogs and cats are roundworms called nematodes, and they definitely transfer to your owners. And
Yeah.
MS is 100%, they have these roundworms in their brain and spinal cord. Well, Genova, LabCorp, and Quest don't even test for it. So if it comes back negative, you don't have for it because they didn't look for it. So anyway, if you want a real limited test, go do the comprehensive, they call them comprehensive lab tests at LabCorp, Quest, and Genova. These aren't comprehensive tests. They're only looking for one of the 4. So anyway, I would look at these patients and I'd go like this. Pull up your Genova, LabCorp, Quest lab reports, please, that your spouse told you go get, that came back negative. And would you please look up on the test result? Not a joke. I'd go like this. How many parasites did they test you for? Look at the report. And they'd go, just one. And I'd go, great. Can you copy that off your phone in your email and put it into Google and tell me what type it is? And they would go like this. Oh, it's a protozoa parasite, Dr. Ardis. And I'd go, great. What kind of parasite did I say you have when you came in here for your autoimmune disease? And they'd go, you said I had flukes. And I'd go, did they test you for flukes? Oh, my God, they didn't even test me for flukes. Very good. You want to get back on your regimen so we can cure you? Yes. This is what you're up against. We have to teach you about this stuff. And I have no problems looking at the test results. It's just a very, very lackluster test. And they're not
Yeah.
looking for 3 of the 4. So there are 4 primary parasites we're all exposed to here in America and abroad and around the world. You just need to know
It's
where you can go.
crazy. Crazy what they keep from us. I mean, I just that's why we're doing this. You know, the word needs to be spread. I mean, I'm all about truth. I'm all about getting real truths out there, and people are ready to hear real truths. And people are the sickest that they've been in a long time. And we are the richest country, right? America's
Oh,
the richest country, but we are the sickest country, or
okay.
one of the sickest. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And how many $1 trillion goes to the Cancer Research Foundation? You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't have a cure for cancer, even though I personally think we have a cure for cancer. But, they don't
Oh, it's
want to
not a
tell
cure
you.
for anything. There's no cure for anything. It's amazing. The industry that's been around for 175 years, called the pharmaceutical industry,
Yeah,
they still haven't come up with a cure for the common cold.
I know.
Oh, wait, if they haven't done that yet, how do you think they're going to resolve cancer, your fibromyalgia, your lupus, your Sjogren's, your diabetes? Do you
Yes.
really think they figured that one out yet if they haven't came up with a cure for the common cold that's not even life-threatening? Okay, so
It's
this
terrible.
is very, very silly, very, very odd. But just know we're very, very excited to educate, warn, inspire you, give you real antidotes, real solutions, real testing options,
Yes.
because many of you are going to be finding yourself guessing, what should I try? And there are many tests that can help you address the underlying causes for most diseases. And I'll just tell you right now, it is very true. Of the 40 to 50 industrialized nations in the world, it has been known for 20 years. America spends more money in healthcare than any other country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We are the most obese in the world, the most chronically medically diagnosed ill country in
Mm-hmm.
the entire world. And
Hmm.
it's even been published, whether accurate or not, that we have the worst infant mortality rate of all industrialized nations. Now, I don't know if y'all know what that means, but that means America sucks the most at keeping their children alive from birth to 1 year old. We suck the most. Now, fast forward to just COVID. No other country had more people die from COVID-19, their citizens, than the United States.
Yeah.
We had 1.9 million people die. The next highest was Brazil at 700,000. How can America suck the most with the greatest, most expensive healthcare in the world? How could we suck the most at keeping our citizens alive?
Yeah.
But we did. This is true. The whole world got COVID. Why did we have more people die? Well, the truth
Mm-hmm.
was they didn't die of COVID. They died of remdesivir poisoning in the hospitals. They all died in hospitals. That was the only link. Brazil was the second country to even import remdesivir at the end of 2020, which is why they have the second highest amount of deaths around the world. So these are the things you need to be taught. Just so y'all know, no one has COVID. No one has autoimmune diseases because you're deficient in a prescription drug.
It's true.
However, I do want to say this. Autoimmune diseases, anybody? Lupus, fibromyalgia, Sjogren's, diabetes, I don't care. Rheumatoid arthritis, gout, psoriatic arthritis. Just know the majority of you are being put on a drug. One of the top 3 drugs to all autoimmune patients is Plaquenil, which is the brand name of hydroxychloroquine. Do you know what hydroxychloroquine is for?
Hmm.
It's an anti-parasitic drug for malaria, which is a
Mm-hmm.
parasite. Why do they give this to all your autoimmune patients? Uh, Hold up. Why do they give an anti-parasitic to all autoimmune patients in America if parasites don't exist? Oh, and how come you're not being cured with hydroxychloroquine or Plaquenil? Well, we're going to teach you that at Uncensored too, because there's a real problem with giving you those drugs every single day. It will never cure the problem. And I will teach you about the life cycles of parasites and what they do once they recognize there are poisons, chemicals, herbs that kill them in your body. These are incredibly sophisticated, evolved creatures that live off your body and can detect poisons in the bloodstream. And then they shift their bodies, they transform their body to be resistant against those poisons. So we'll teach you why. This is why people who have autoimmune diseases are put on those drugs will be on them for the rest of their life. But in the very beginning, in the first month, they will see miraculous improvement. Yes, you're being put on an anti-parasitic. Most likely, if you saw improvements, it's because you have parasites and no one told you.
Mm, 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 mm. I mean, this is the kind of information, guys, that you're gonna get in Dallas, May 16th. We're going to Las Vegas, August 8th, and then we'll be in Miami in December. Guys, we are offering everybody a 20% discount if you want to come meet us in Dallas, May 16th. Use the code Dallas20. All of these links are in both of our profiles. So if you guys want to head over to the links, you can see all about our event, Uncensored, because this is honestly the first time that Dr. Ardis and I will be uncensored, which is why we are not going to pull clips and we're not going to stream and record and restream and send out copies of this. This is one time, 3 times actually. We're doing Dallas, Vegas, and Miami. Okay, so 3 times you get to hear us uncensored at these events. The link is in our bios, and use the code Dallas20 to get 20% off if you want to come to Dallas. If you can't make it and you want to join us virtual, we have a 15% off coupon, uncensored 15, and you can join us from anywhere in the world. But just make sure that you pick a date that you can show up, because again, we are not going to be sending out any restreams to people, because this important information is, yeah, it's way too important to just get out there. I mean, it's that's why me and you wanted to do something in person, so we could be finally uncensored, because too much censorship on these platforms, you know.
Also, one of my favorite things in life where I travel around the world is Q&As with live audiences. So
Yes.
virtual and in person, we're going to be spending the majority of the time answering your questions that you
Mhm.
can direct to us, that you can bring to us. And also, we're going to have swag bags for those in personal attendance. And I've already signed half of the books we're going to give away on all these cities. So I'm going to give out a free copy included with the ticket purchases for those in attendance. A signed copy of the book Moving Beyond COVID-19 Lives, which I'm very, very excited about. Oh, it's, by the way, it's still #1 on the vaccine category a year and a half later on Amazon. It's now #1 in the pulmonary medicine category on
Okay.
Amazon, and still in the top, I think it's top 10 of medical textbooks still. It's been #2 for like a year and a half, all medical textbooks around the world, which is exciting. So a lot of
Wow.
people are getting a lot of great information there, and hope that we included inside that book.
Yes, yes, awesome. And just the work that you do, Dr. Ardis. I mean, so many, you know what? I just don't understand. There are so many doctors out there that know the truth, but then continue to drink the Kool-Aid and follow the lies, and then still subscribe to the lies, even though that they know something's not right. What is that about? I mean, I don't, that makes no sense to me. You take a vow, you know?
You do take a vow. Unfortunately, though, when you're in medical school, all of your curriculum is
Hmm.
basically now provided by the pharmaceutical industry. So they're providing the curriculum, the textbooks to all the students in med school all over the world, Europe and North America for sure. And in 1910 was a document paid for by the Carnegie Foundation and the Rockefellers. They
Hmm.
paid a guy named Abraham Flexner to go to all medical schools in America and Canada and rewrite all their curriculum to make it one
Hmm.
curriculum. And first order of business was to eliminate vitamins, minerals, herbs, and homeopathy from the education of all medical doctors in America and Canada. So that's been in place ever since. So unfortunately, I went through all the syllabuses before I decided I was going to go to med school, and I couldn't believe there was a 4-hour elective, 4-hour weekend course I could pay extra for to learn about vitamins and minerals. And the truth is, all of us require vitamins and minerals in every single cell of our body to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And if you've ever studied a cell and any of the pathways of a cell, you look in a medical textbook even for the body to generate energy in your cells called ATP,
Yeah.
look at the diagrams. You don't
Yeah.
see any drugs on the pathways listed. You'll see potassium's needed, copper's needed, calcium's needed, and these are all vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
So how come you can look at the textbooks but never learn that there's basic requirements in food and supplements and nutrition that every cell of the body needs? You know what's not on any of the pathways in any medical textbook of how the body works? Like
Mm.
beta cells in your pancreas to make insulin. Do you know there's nothing in there about Advil, Motrin, Tylenol, Plaquenil, Metformin, glucophage? There's none of these drugs listed there. No, what you will see in the pathway to make insulin is every cell in the pancreas needs chromium, and vanadium, which are two minerals on the periodic table of elements found in the soil that gets drawn up into your plants you should be eating every day in the form of vegetables and fruits.
Uh-huh.
But you're not doing that. You're just injecting insulin, injecting metformin, glucophage, and none of y'all are deficient in any of those. So these are some of the basic reasons why the majority of all people aren't even aware of these nutritional principles. The basics were literally erased from the curriculum of medicine. And then we're seen as the quacks when we're trying to just remind you these are the basics. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And why would Big Pharma want you to avoid the doctor? The doctor's the only one that sells you their drugs. So they had to get rid of that narrative. Don't trust food. Trust chemicals in food and trust chemicals in drugs. And then they went into programming and controlling the media. It's pretty wild. What a ride.
What a ride. What a ride is right. And, I mean, it's interesting because, well, I'm glad that we are going to be doing different topics well, guys, we're going to be doing specific topics at each one of these locations, but then we'll be
Yes.
covering a whole vast array of different things. But I know that in Las Vegas, this one's going to be near and dear to my heart because we're going to be talking about big pharma and the medical system. And, I'll be sharing a story about why I'm so just focused on this truth because honestly, Western medicine, now I'm in support of Western medicine if I'm like, shot and bleeding out, like I'm going to the hospital. I'm not going to try to take an herb and like, stop the bleeding. I'm going to the hospital. But at the same time, it's used for everything. We got to stop that. And it honestly killed my dad and it messed my brother up for life and messed my mom up because she had to donate my brother a kidney. So it's like, this is why I'm so dedicated for the cause of telling the truth because I've seen how the system tears families apart. How medications and prescriptions. I mean, my brother is on about 100 pills a day, and I've seen how it stole his soul. He is not the same. So,
So let me just share one analogy that all of you should be able to resonate with. So this is an example of just the basics. If you leave med school and you get your medical degree and you get your white coat and your stethoscope and you get to hang up your license from your state board and you open up your clinic, if any patient comes into your office and they tell you their kid is hot and they have a fever, are they going to prescribe Motrin, Tylenol, Advil? That's what they're going to tell you to do. Well, shut down the immune system with these anti-inflammatories. Okay, good. Is a fever a reaction? Any child of a parent being taken to a pediatrician for a fever or to a hospital, are fevers created by an Advil, Motrin, or Tylenol deficiency? No. So I encourage everybody watching here, this is just an example, but the medical doctors leave the school going, this is exactly what you do. You just give Tylenol, Motrin for this dosage at this age group, blah, blah, blah. No. I want to explain something to y'all. Y'all should go look this up at home. I'll just give you a tidbit of the kind of stuff you're going to get at Uncensored. I want you to look it up. What part of the human body controls core body temperature to not let you get too hot or too cold? Do you know what it is? It's the hypothalamus. Go Google it. What part of the human body controls core body temperature? If you get too hot, like with a fever or with exercise or hot yoga, your body's hypothalamus in your brain, this little gland, is what controls core body temperature, the hypothalamus. It tells your body to start sweating. And when you release water out of your skin, it starts to evaporate, and that is a cooling mechanism for the human body. If you're too cold, you're stuck up on a mountain in the snow and you're getting hypothermic, your hypothalamus tells your body to start shaking, shivering. And as the 42 trillion cells in your body are vibrating together, you create friction, which increases heat, so you don't die. Now, this is the truth. If your kid's getting too hot and you're worried about a fever seizure called a febrile seizure, for example, do you know what mineral the hypothalamus needs at normal levels to not let you get too hot and not get too cold?
magnesium.
It is called magnesium. All right, so I have a question for you. How come nobody, no medical doctor tells you to just give your kid some magnesium when their fever is getting too high?
Yeah,
And
how
do
come?
you guys know what the deadly temperature, not deadly, the damaging heat marker for a fever, at what temperature specifically does it damage any part of the human body? Do you know?
They tell you in school it's like 103, like, or if you go past 103, it's really bad. But didn't we talked before and you told me the real
Yeah, it's
number.
actually 100. It's actually over 108.
Yeah.
So anybody that's out there like, my kid's temperature's at 99. So what? My kid's temperature's at 101. Who cares? It's at 103. So what? Go give them some magnesium if you're worried the body will not get too hot if it has enough magnesium.
Yeah.
And a fever, as the medical doctors will tell you, it's bad. This is bad. Fevers are scary. No, this is how the human body is designed to cook bacteria, fungi, and parasites to death. And it
Yeah.
knows at what point the temperature is just right to start killing off the bacteria, and then the fever will spike. But if you don't have magnesium in your body, it could overheat. It could not heat at all. You could have a febrile seizure or a heat stroke. But if you have adequate levels of magnesium, oh my God, the body knows how to do it on its own. There are no symptoms in life, no diseases that you have right now that are caused by a prescription drug deficiency. So how come in America, for every symptom you've ever had, for every illness you've ever had, you run to the doctor and they give you a prescription to go to CVS or Walgreens to pick up a prescription? If that's not why you have your symptoms. Well, that's not what I'm about. I like getting into the 10 top root causes of diseases and helping you eliminating those and filling in the gaps if it's mineral and vitamin deficiency related. There's not a single disease, not a single symptom like a fever or febrile seizure or a heat stroke that isn't caused by a specific mineral or vitamin deficiency. And oh my God, there are things like venoms and viruses that deplete zinc and copper, and you will develop every known illness known to man, including cancer, if those live in your body. Because as you deplete zinc, did you know zinc deficiency leads to estrogen dominance, which is the #1 cause for all cancers?
Really?
And guess what glyphosate and venoms and viruses do? They deplete zinc, which you learned about with COVID. Take zinc to prevent dying from COVID. Yeah. These viruses, venoms, glyphosate, all destroy zinc in our soils, in our bodies, and in our plants. And so as they destroy that, you become more susceptible to estrogen dominance, leading to all cancers on Earth. So these are just examples of the things you're going to learn there.
Did you see the article that they released, or did you see Monsanto and Bayer? They are fighting to get the cancer warning label off of Roundup.
Of course they are. Wouldn't you? If you made billions of dollars a year off of that one product? Oh, and Bayer is a pharmaceutical company. You don't think Bayer has products that they give to you when you develop cancer and are diagnosed with cancer? This is a pharmaceutical drug company, y'all. Remember the Hegelian dialect. Create the problem,
Yep.
sell the solution. Okay, great.
Terrible. Just terrible. That's why you guys need to show up at our events, okay? That's all I got to say.
Right.
Show up if you have, especially, I mean, look, you tell your family about this, tell people around you about this, because your type of information, Dr. Ardis, let me be transparent with you, okay? The first time I talked to you, which was a couple years back now, I was like, yeah, right. I was like, nah. But I went down the Dr. Ardis rabbit hole. And I went all the way down in there and saw all the things, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to interview him again, because everything that you were saying, I could find the answer. I'm like, oh my God, he's on to something. And then I interviewed you again, and I interviewed you again, and I went down all the rabbit holes, and everything that you said checked out. And the things that, I mean, you even presented to me proves what you're talking about, because I told everybody I'm very skeptical. I don't just believe everything. It takes a lot of proof for me to believe things. But in talking to you, I mean, off camera and, planning these events, it's like, man, I give you so much props just for screaming the truth from the mountaintops, because so many people are scared to do it. And
Well,
so just thank you. Thank you
well,
again.
I am a very much show and tell doctor. I like to present
Yeah.
stuff, and I don't say stuff without backing it up and showing you the evidence of the research proving it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's going to be different topics in each of these 3 cities, just so y'all know. So it's not just what we're talking about here in Dallas. It'll be different every time. But for example, anybody out there older than 60 watching this? Do you know every 60-year-old in America is told they need to start getting every year 4 specific vaccines? Shingles, pneumonia,
What?
flu, and COVID.
What?
Do you know that in every single one of those are ingredients they know create permanent ringing in your ears called tinnitus or tinnitus, leading to permanent deafness, which means now they can sell you hearing aids and tell you it's just caused by normal aging. And then cochlear implants. Remember, I told you, you actually create the problem, sell the solution. I'm going to be sharing with you in these cities what those specific ingredients are and in which vaccines and why you should avoid them. But they will tell you by age 65, which is 5 years into this, you need to get all 4 of these every single year from 60 till you die. You're going to realize why every terminal or chronic illness in America, they state most commonly is diagnosed at age 65. It's because they've been pumping you full of poisons for 5 straight years at that point that they know creates all the things they call this is just reactions of or common reactions to aging. No, it isn't. These are not. These are common side effects of poisoning, and I will show you what they know. It's pretty disgusting.
It is so bad. It's
Now,
terrible.
now
Oh, I can't hear you anymore,
that
Doc. Okay, I
my
can hear you
phone
now.
is down. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, my phone for this live is now at 3%. I'm outside the house, so if this phone dies here, this is my goodbye, and I can't wait to see you in Dallas, Las Vegas, and Miami. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Dr. Artist, it has been awesome. It is always like a mind blow. Every time I talk to you, I'm learning some more stuff. I mean, again, thank you so much. I mean, just for everything that you do and the work that you've done. And I can't wait to see you in Dallas, guys. May 16th, we will be there. Dallas 20. Okay. If you guys want to come, you get 20% off. We will be exposing real truths. We will be uncensored and we will be live on virtual. So if you want to get a virtual ticket, we will be there. If you want to get virtual tickets for all three events and you can't make it to any of them, do so. Like I said, we are taking, this on the road and we are talking about different things in each place. And someone asked what day was Dallas. Dallas is May 16th and we are there from 1 to 6, guys. 1 to 6. So we'll be
One to six.
talking.
Yep, 1 to 6. It'll be exciting.
Yes, yes. Talking about, all of these different things. We're going to be focusing on parasites, turbo cancers, et cetera, et cetera. And then we'll be doing our Q&A, guys. An
Oh,
hour and a
oh, one
half.
other thing. One other thing. You guys don't know this. Y'all seen those blood clots being pulled out of people's dead bodies by embalmers? You've seen the videos. Well, I have them in my possession. I'm going to bring them to the event. So if you're sitting there and you want to get pictures with your favorite little blood clots, come hang out. I'm bringing them with me. I've had them in my possession for a long time. And a lot of people are like, you still have those? I do. You want to hang out with them and play with them? Here they go. They look like tapeworm parasites.
No, you have some weird stuff, guys. It's going to be hands on. I mean, you have the blood clots. Don't you have like this meat that was bubbling, guys?
We do. We have beef came from cows that literally is breathing in a canned jar for hours trying to breathe.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that video. Video. I cannot. Guys,
It's wild.
I'm sorry. It's got to be Dr. Artist if you have a blood clot on your kitchen counter. You know what I'm saying?
You
You have
ain't
to.
lying. I've got them. I've got them in my bathroom counter, actually, right next to my sink. I've had them there for years. Just as a reminder of what we're up against. It's pretty crazy.
Well, guys, I mean, visit the link in my bio, okay? My bio, all right? We'll have all the information that you need, or go to my website, elizabethunlimited.com/uncensored, okay? My name is spelled with an S, by the way. So, visit my site. Join us, guys. It's going to be life-changing. It will. It will be life-changing. So,
And
you
eye
know,
opening.
yeah, yeah,
Eye
definitely.
opening for sure.
Yeah, yeah, brain blows all through the room. I can't wait to see the brain blows. But you know what I can't wait the most for is to be able to really shed some real light and give some people real solutions for one of the first time. Like real solutions, guys, not the ones that you have to spend millions of dollars for over your whole entire rest of your life. I'm talking like real solutions that will probably cost you a couple $1,000 at the most, maybe, and you'll be cool in a couple months. So, you know.
Also, I look forward to learning from the audiences, those virtual and in attendance. When you're asking your questions, I look forward to learning what's important to you and what you're up against, and then go doing our own research and bringing you solutions, possibly even to the next city event that we do. So that would be very exciting for me. I like learning and knowing what is important to you, what's affecting you in life, and what things you are experiencing, so that
I
I can
love
find
it.
out ways to provide solutions and answers.
I love it. I love it. Well, Dr. Artist, it has been an honor and a pleasure as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, one more time, May 16th in Dallas, use code Dallas20 if you want 20% off. And then if you want to join us virtually, it's uncensored 15. You get 15% off, right? Okay. Only probably for the next week. So get you a
Amen.
little special. and, and Doc, I will see you May 16th in Dallas. I can't wait.
It's going to be exciting. Can't wait.
Yes, yes. All right, guys. We will see you there, okay? Don't miss this. Don't miss these
Everybody.
life-changing events.
And everybody at home, thanks for hanging out and thanks for the trust. I appreciate you too, Elizabeth.
Yes. Okay, Doc. All right. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you. Bye.
All right. All right.